everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails, a Grand Arena story, primer story? I don't know what I'm saying. Guys, this is 3v3 is coming up, and it's a bittersweet time for all of us. 5v5 is, of course, the one that a lot of people like. 3v3 offers a lot of good theory craft and a lot of enjoyment just because 5v5 can. Everything else is 5v5. It's nice to just have something a little different. It's not really that balanced. I could talk forever about it, but guys, in the video description, there's going to be several different resources that you can access if you want. I'm going to talk about more. I think I'm going to do a bigger video tomorrow about 3v3. Today, I just wanted to talk about 10 different teams that are kind of the baseline for 3v3, just things to be thinking about, get the creative juices flowing, and then we're going to be, of course, exploring more things, more cutting edge stuff in the next video. I don't know exactly how cutting edge, but we're going to be talking about strategy, stuff like that. So this one is just 10 teams. I think they're important, and the kind of some things surrounding them. So if you want other resources for now, check out my video description. We have a Discord server that is GAC specific. We do talk about other things though. Lots of fun over there. A lot of people joining. Get in on that while you can. Like it's a limited thing. It totally isn't. But please come hang out there if you like. Check out my streams on Twitch. Check out the podcast that me and SoloBase15 do. We just did a big roundtable that should hopefully be posted soon by a bunch of the roundtable being full of GAC experts talking about 3v3 and also drinking, so talking about things like that apparently, and still kind of being family friendly. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really back that up. I don't remember. But anyways, guys, there's a counter sheet that has been good. It's going to even be better. Fancy things coming on that. That being said, let's jump into these teams and talk about them. We're not going to talk about Galactic Legends much, except for how they kind of impact some things, but just 10 baseline teams. So we've got first the Full Bastard Darth Revan team. I call it Full Bastard because it is a full bastard to kill. It is so tough to kill. Beyond the 4 Galactic Legends and the teams that they kind of represent, this is the team that is toughest to kill. There is a Darth Vader counter out for it. The Fatal has kind of championed. I'm not convinced that it's going to be super consistent. It wasn't for me when I first tried it. I am going to be trying it again. I'll try remodding it, take a look at his video again. But that being said, if you can't beat this team, you're going to be screwed. This team is very, very difficult to beat, and you don't want to put Emperor Palpatine as lead. That is folly. It's madness. It's not wise. It's just inefficient and stupid. So don't do that. Just put these 3 down on defense and move along. Just do it, guys. Seriously, just put them on defense and move along. Geonosians, they're an important squad only because they kind of represent something to me that I feel like a lot of people do in 3v3. You can see I put all 5 of them here, and that's because you want the baseline generally of Geobrood Alpha and Spy. Those 2 are amazing, and then the other 3 are kind of like mix and match, whatever suits your purpose. Like you have Poggle, who does ability block, Sunfac, who does dispels every time and adds extra tankiness to the squad, and you have the Soldier, who does tenacity down, he calls assists, he does all kinds of awesome things, and generally you want the Soldier there, frankly, but if you need dispels, Sunfac is your man. And Poggle, this team can finish off a Supreme, whatever his name is, Sith Eternal Emperor, if you can get ability block, and then you have big enough hits by Spy. But as long as Poggle is ability blocking, he can't do what he wants. So something to keep in mind, this team can actually even beat some Galactic Legends in 3v3, at least as like a cleanup. So I don't want you guys to get pigeonholed into just thinking that one squad is the one that is going to be the answer and the rest are just totally ignored. Be flexible in your squad compositions. I don't actually use the squad list here for anything other than making videos. I scratch build, so to speak, all of my teams every time I play. So Just something to keep in mind, guys. Now, this next team is pretty good. Commander Luke with 3PO and 2PO, and there's all sorts of POs there. It's kind of making me PO'd a little bit, but there's this team is really strong. It combines all the different things, like you have turn meter reduction, you have bonus damage, assist damage, you have exposes going crazy, you have all these debuffs, all kinds of, you're reducing their turn meter, you're increasing your own turn meter, just all the madness. And it seems like this team wouldn't be that good, but it is actually pretty great on defense. On offense, it's also very versatile, but you're gonna potentially drop banners. I mean, you can usually be pretty efficient with it, but just keep in mind, this team is a great way to split it, because there are really efficient ways to split to use Han and Chewie without using Luke with them. So if you want my advice, you use this team on defense, and like there are some counters to it now being developed, but it's tough to beat. It really is, and the counters that are developed are a little bit dicey regardless. So check it out, guys. Pretty good squad. Now, the way you split up the Han and Chewie team is you put them with Wedge, or you can put them with Kira, you can put them with Greedo, you can put them, like, there's all kinds of places you can place them. Old Ben even is a weird way to do it, but you can. The reason I like Wedge, and I used Kira for a long time on this squad, my Kira's only gear 12, so there's that issue, like she's just pretty squishy, and she's only gear 12, and for me, at a pretty high GP level, gear 12 doesn't necessarily always fly. Like sometimes people just randomly get killed, and if they're and usually when people randomly get killed, it's because they're gear 12 or lower. So I already have Wedge geared up because he's part of the requirements for a Galactic Legend, and the thing that a lot of people don't understand about his kit or know is that yes, he gives extra offense, yes, he heals a little bit, which is not that relevant to this squad, but the other thing that it does is it gives turn meter every time you do a crit, and Han and Chewie are crit machines. They do a lot of crits, and they're not actually machines, guys. They're real life people, okay? They're fake real life people, but they do a lot of crits, and so they're gaining a lot of turn meter, and in 3v3, they hit so hard, they can just demolish people in a matter of moments, and then it's over. So really efficient squad, lots of turn meter, go for it. Now, this Kylo Ren, Fox, and Watt team is just kind of a template in a way. Watt lets you create a template. You need a tank who's a leader, or you need a tank, a decent lead, and you need a damage dealer, and that's all you need. As long as you have a tank between the leader and the attacker, or damage dealer, whatever, as long as you have a good tank, then they're going to taunt, and they have to actually have the word tank in there. But you put the tank on the tank tech on the tank as you might expect, and then you can just you put the weapons tech on the attacker, on the first order executioner, and then you have someone that can deny revives and is extremely versatile. You can heal yourselves because Watt is good at healing, regenerating all that health and protection. Very efficient squad. Some people are using Watt for other reasons and uses, and it's hard to debate a lot of those, but keep in mind that this team is just really good. You can also kind of just do this on your own without using Watt, if you want to use Bosk with Jango and Boba, though I know that a lot of people like to use Jango with Separatists. Just something to keep in mind, guys. Like, being able to deny revives is huge in 3v3, and having that taunt up is just really nice. So the next one is Mothra teams. A lot of people just don't use Mothma because you only get a couple characters kind of having input into how you're doing. This team, however, it seems super unlikely, but I did this all last season, and then it translates into success in 5v5 as well. This team kills General Grievous really nicely. It also kills like Night Sister teams pretty nicely, assuming they're not a Night Sisters team that you have to AoE in order to kill, because AoEs won't actually do it. But this team beat General Grievous teams all last season. Like, they are just General Grievous killing machines, and actually some of them actually are machines. So this team, I know not a lot of people have a Relic Cassian or K2, but and I would advise not using other Mothra comps. I think that Cara Dune can work in place of K2, but man, I've seen that go south real quick. So just keep in mind, I don't know, this team is really good, and I would advise maybe contemplate putting some gear on these guys. It's an eccentric waste of gear probably, but it's not. Like, you can counter things that your opponent doesn't expect. That's always good. Now, you have this Luke team here, Jedi Luke with Shaak Ti. The idea being that Shaak Ti has like 340, 350 speed. She can outspeed Vader. If you don't have her eccentrically fast, the way I do, then don't bother, because you'll just die to Vader, and it'll be a super huge waste, because Vader isn't always usable in 3v3, except that this team, he's like custom built to be able to beat. So this team though, if you can outspeed Vader, just keep in mind too, Moff Gideon is actually out there. He's going to reduce your speed or reduce your turn meter if he's fast enough. So that's an additional threat to this team, but this team does pretty well. Also keep in mind, if you scout your opponent and you see that their Darth Vader is just fast enough to outspeed your Shaak Ti, don't put Old Ben in there. Old Ben gives Vader an extra 16 speed because he's both Rebel and Jedi. So put someone like Hoda or some other random Jedi, or just don't even put a Jedi. I don't care. Like, as long as Shaak Ti goes first and then has Luke go next, that's the win, right? Like, she goes first, she calls the Jedi to do their thing, and then he gets a bonus turn, he stuns everyone, and then he just kills everyone while they're stunned. It's not sportsmanly, but it's pretty sweet. So, it's a really strong squad on defense. It's also good on offense. I like it on defense better. Now this team is one that can kind of be interesting. You have to have a really fast Thrawn, or at least fast-ish, and then you have Tarkin lead. So what he does, Tarkin gives him 28 speed, unless he's Zeta, then it's plus 30. His leadership is weird like that, but you give Thrawn the extra speed, he fractures Jedi Knight Luke, and then Vader takes his time and kills his son over the course of several turns while fracture is going on. Now, keep in mind that if you still can't outspeed the Shaak Ti on a squad, this isn't a good idea, because Darth Vader does not get anything from Tarkin other than the extra speed, which is nice, but it's not enough. He doesn't get enough offense, he doesn't get any kind of cool killing power, and the second everyone gets stunned, then it's just over. So, it turns real ugly. This team can work. You just have to be careful in how you use it. Tarkin can be a pretty good tool though, guys. So the penultimate team we have, it's called the social contract team, is what I've been calling it. It's Fin Poe. Everyone puts it on defense. At least this is the idea, and that's been my experience. This team is very tough to kill if you don't use Han and Chewie variant. But if you do use a Han and Chewie variant, it's really easy to kill. So what the social contract is everyone places this team on defense, and then the Han and Chewie team kills them for 54 or thereabouts, and everyone's happy. That, like, you just swap teams. No one really has access to Han and Chewie after that, and no one has access to Fin Poe. But if someone deviates from that, then they're the one who gets the shaft, because Han and Chewie will kill something really important, most likely, and it's really tough for someone to kill Fin Poe without Han and Chewie. Yes, it can be done, but it can get dicey. I've seen people fail because they think they have a good counter for it, and they don't. Is it unbeatable? No, but it does a lot of damage, has a lot of good elements to it. This team is really strong in 3v3 on offense and defense. His social contract team though, guys, what are you doing with it on offense? Put it on defense, move along. Now the final one, it seems like kind of a joke squad in a way. You have General Grievous with the two MGs. You have Magna Guard and Moff Gideon, and of course it's kind of funny because then someone's telling a story about trying to counter it, and they're like, man, MG really makes that team tankier. And you're like, well, which MG though? Like, no, but you know, and you can joke about it, you know, oh, I got debuffed by MG. Oh, which MG? Anyways, The idea, though, is not that this squad is really good on its own. It's that Moff Gideon is really good at, if you make him fast enough, people get mad because on defense his first move is his Darksaber, and that's not ideal. I realize that, but his real first move, guys, the one that really impacts the match the most in some ways, is his first one that debuffs your offense, and that's just done passively, and it's done automatically. So if he's the first one to go, it doesn't matter that he just Darksabers someone. Who cares? What matters is he is making everyone's offense way lower, and then it throws off everything. Like, you put him with a Galactic Legend on defense, and suddenly that whole team is so much harder to kill. It's way harder to counter. And so when you put him with Rey, and like, there's like no off-meta counters that can kill Rey anyways. Like there's a couple that people think kill her, but that just totally stamps out anything. I don't know. He can be really good plug and play. Rey is probably a terrible example, in fact, but it's a good squad. It's a good idea. Just be prepared for people using Moff Gideon in awkward ways that you don't see coming. That being said, guys, it's been a while. This video is long-ish. We want to call it good. So, yeah, guys, stay tuned for the video. Hopefully, I'm going to make tomorrow. And thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails. Have a good one, everyone.